Marina.Grab is a future planner. 67% of Canadians reach the age of 65 financially weak. Marina is on a mission to change those statistics with a proven system allowing for greater personal and financial security. She helps people across Canada plan towards a better future by creating tax-free income and protecting what is important to them. Our role is an educator in helping people save, build wealth, protect their families and assets, and eliminate taxes. So Marina, thanks for coming today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
As usual, our viewers are used to, seeing our guests, all dolled up. And while we are doing your makeup, I'll be asking you a few questions about how you unmasked different areas of your life. But today we're talking about unmasking confidence. So that's what we're going to focus on. So tell us about you. Who is Marina? Where are you from? What do you do? And who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah.
So I am a first-generation Canadian. I was born to Italian parents.
Oh.
They came to Canada, and I am the result of their love. Along with two other siblings.
Canadian-born
yes,
Italian.
Canadian-born Italian.
So your two parents were Italian.
Right, right. And believe it or not, I actually grew up in Calgary. That's not everybody's story, because this city is a city of mostly people who've come from somewhere else.
Right, absolutely. So you were born in Calgary.
Born in Calgary.
Bred in Calgary and buttered in Calgary. Okay, cool.
But I did, my basic schooling here, but I went to university in Nova Scotia.
Okay.
And then I did some master's studies in France, in Europe.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you got to go back to Europe.
Yes,
cool,
yes.
Cool.
My mother and my father were the only ones that came to Canada. So all of our extended family were in Italy. Oh. And it meant that we could go back and, get to know them.
And family. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And get a sense of heritage.
Yes,
absolutely. I mean, so many people in Calgary and all over the world are from other parts of the world.
Absolutely.
It's nice to know a little bit about your heritage. And certainly I got to experience that by going back repeatedly.
Really cool. Really cool.
So that sort of took me to university years, and then I started traveling.
Okay.
I did that big backpacking thing that you do after university.
Yes.
And then about a year later, I ended up in New Zealand. Yeah, seriously. All the way to New Zealand.
So was it in between high school and university?
No, it was after university.
Okay,
after
so you
university.
took a year off, you didn't work?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So how was that?
Great, but then I really had to work, so I started working in New Zealand.
Okay.
And I worked in communications, public relations, media relations. That sort of was my first career.
Okay.
And the last 4 years that I was actually, I thought I would be there for maybe 2 or 3 years, but I ended up being there for 13 years.
Wow, in New Zealand. That is so cool.
It was really cool. It's a wonderful country, amazing country.
I know,
it's like all of Canada in a tiny place. There's mountains, there's,
and there's sunshine.
And there's sunshine. There's even a tropical part of New Zealand. Of course, that's not like Canada. That's more like California. Okay. But there's that too.
Oh, that's interesting.
It was great. It was really great. But, after all that time, it was time to come back. And so here I am.
But did you have to come back though?
No, I didn't have to come back. No, I was actually a citizen of New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Yeah, so I could stay if I chose to stay.
Okay.
But my family was here, and it turned out that Mr. Right was here.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I didn't find him in New Zealand. I had to come back to Canada.
So you had to come back to Canada. Cool, that makes sense. To find him. Makes sense. Totally worth it.
Totally worth it. That's right. Totally worth it.
Okay, cool, Marina.
So I came back. And so now, I worked, as I said, in communications, but, some years ago, I decided to go back to school and retrain in the area of helping people plan for their future. I'm a future planner. I help people optimize what they can do in terms of financially planning for their future.
Okay.
And the area I specialize in is an area known as the Insured Retirement Plan.
Yes, IRP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you've heard of it. I would say a lot of your viewers would not have heard of it.
I don't think so, because I've not heard a lot about it. I've only heard from two people, you and another person.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of a specialized area.
Okay.
But it's growing in terms of recognition.
Yeah, and it makes so much sense.
Average Canadians.
Right.
It does make sense. You really take care of what's important to you. You create wealth. You create a tax-free income for later in life. It ticks a lot of the boxes of what people are looking for.
Yeah, and it's a good way to make your money work for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's what I specialize in, and I help average Canadians make a difference and make a better future for themselves.
Okay.
Very rewarding career choice.
Amazing. So, Marina, I'm gonna leave details like how you can contact her at the end of this program in case you want to know more about IRP and investment, and especially after retirement. She's the one to speak to. So thank you, Marina.
Well, thank you, Joanne.
All right. So I want to know more about you. So tell us about your background growing up. What was it like, and how has it defined who you are today? How has it been a part of what part of your background and growing up and your foundation has added to who you are today?
The fact that I grew up, I started my life coming from an immigrant family, so and the community we grew up in here in Calgary was all immigrant families.
Okay.
So it meant that I was immediately exposed to an international community. I inherently had a sense that my world was not just a, Caucasian, sort of, Canadian kind of profile. Very mixed.
Wow.
Which was great.
And that was as far back as when?
Right from here in Calgary.
Wow.
Yeah, because we grew up in the northeast section of Calgary, in Marlborough, which is, and continues to be today, a very international area of the city.
Yeah.
Lots of new immigrants and people from all over the world.
Yeah.
So having that as a basis, or my first exposure to, people in my community and my school, it gave me a sense that, the world is a big place, but it's also a small place. And it really doesn't matter what people's background is, or where they come from, or color of skin, language they speak, whatever the case may be. We're all children of God. We're all here to support and help each other. And I think that's, given that was the start of my my life and my early years, it really gave me a sense that international travel was going to be was probably going to be my lifestyle.
Huge part of.
And that's what it's turned out to be.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, as I mentioned, after university, the fact that I came from an Italian family, and my father kept the family home in Italy, so we as a family traveled back and forth.
Okay.
So I gained that sense of exposure to Europe.
Okay.
And then after high school and university, I started traveling. So, I traveled through Europe, through parts of the Middle East, through Australia, down to New Zealand, Africa, parts of Asia. So I did a lot of travel on my own. But it was something that I was really comfortable with, and I think it had to do with the fact that I grew up in such an international community, an international environment. That's right.
True.
And I think when you appreciate and value everyone on equal ground, it broadens your world.
Absolutely, and it gives you a totally different perspective.
Yeah.
And You're just able to thrive better, especially in a diverse environment. So,
That's right.
yeah.
That's right. It affords you much more opportunity than, you know, if you were
just being closed up,
restricted or thinking in a restrictive way.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you. Yeah. So, Marina, tell us about your the story of Unmasking Confidence.
Unmasking Confidence. So
yeah. So tell us the story around Unmasking Confidence, as we have different things for Unmask Your Beauty this year.
Yes.
So yours is Unmasking Confidence. So I want you to share with us and inspire, and hopefully our viewers will get inspired by your story today about Unmasking Confidence.
Well, you know, what I find is confidence comes from knowing yourself, but also knowing, you know, that you don't have to be perfect.
Absolutely.
I think this, you know, this desire for perfection is holding people back from feeling like they are enough.
That's deep.
And
we can talk about that all day.
Yeah, we could, you know, and there's all sorts of repercussions of not feeling that you're good enough, worthy, you know, that you do enough, that you have enough, that you are beautiful enough, you know, all of these things that hold people back and often actually put them in a place where they're making decisions, taking choices that are not optimal for them. But to know that you are enough, you are more than enough, can really help people appreciate themselves more and gain more confidence. So how does confidence happen? Okay. Confidence, as I say, you know, from knowing yourself and knowing that you are enough, good enough, great enough, fabulous enough, loved enough. Yeah. A lot of my confidence has come through my faith. You know, when you know that you're a child of God, when you know that there's a bigger purpose to why you're here, then you're not restricted to the smallness of the world or, you know, of yourself. And you're not so myopic, you know, or self-consumed. You know, my mother was a great example of confidence. My mother grew up in the war, and you know, that's you know, a really hard start. And she grew up in the war in Europe, which was, you know, really in the war. Oftentimes, you know, the village that she grew up in, they would hide to save themselves. They would run to save themselves. You know, there was that kind of danger that was there. But somehow, you know, that developed such an amazing resilience. Now, we don't all have to go through a war to develop our own resilience and our own sense of self and confidence to do what we'd love to do, and what we hope to do, what we aspire to do. But it does come from having a foundation to your life. Again, my foundation is my faith. You know, knowing that I'm a child of God, that there's a larger sense of who I am and what I am, and how I can manifest my faith in my life, and even bring others onto Christ. That's a beautiful mission, and one that you can gain a tremendous amount of understanding of who you really are and what you're really about. Right. So having something that's larger than yourself, so you're not constrained and limited to, you know, just your mortal being and what you think is you're capable of. Knowing that you are capable of so much more, and having some really good role models. As I say, my mother was a great role model for me. I think when you're unmasking confidence, a big part of it is, who is your frame of reference? Who are you? Who are you listening to? Who are you watching? Who are your models?
I hear you.
And are they healthy? Are they healthy models? Are they Are they really who you want to be?
Right.
Are they really like who you want to be?
Yeah.
You know, do they exude the kind of ethical and moral and
absolutely,
you know, the kind of demeanor that
yeah.
you
That's your
wish to
standard.
have for yourself, your
Yeah.
standard?
Yeah.
Exactly. And if they're not, then, you know, choose others.
Absolutely.
There's lots of great examples of great people
Absolutely.
to, you know, to reference and to learn about and to appreciate. You know, and when you learn about other people, and again, this goes back to, you know, that early childhood and recognizing and appreciating, realizing that we are part of a big world, but it's a small world.
Yeah.
When you reference people who have good standards and are doing things that make a difference in the world,
look up for me, please.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
then you have the opportunity to embrace that for yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow, I hear you on that. Absolutely. I hear you on that, Marina. But a lot of people, actually, this word, I am enough.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I don't think, understand what it means in different contexts. Like, I don't think people get it. Like, you're enough. It's not like some people say you're enough, or does that mean you don't need your husband, or you don't need a man, or you don't need, you know. So I want you to elaborate on that word, I am enough. Yeah.
And, you know, I think it comes down to what each individual defines as enough.
Okay.
But what I'm cautioning people, and I had to be cautioned on this myself, is that you never, there could be a tendency to, because there's so much we aspire for, there could be a tendency to believe that you're never enough. That
you can never get there.
Can never get there. And that's not the case. You know, the reality is you are enough just as you are. Of course you want to do better and achieve more and strive for higher goals, and all of those things. Of course you do. But in the process of it, don't be so hard on yourself and so limited in your belief of yourself. Understand that you really are capable of so much more.
So much more. And I absolutely hear you on that. Because there was a point in my life when I was going to start Adoniaa Beauty, I actually felt, no, it's not people like me that own brands.
Right.
So that's where that is coming from.
Yeah.
I'm like, am I really enough?
Who am I?
Who am I? Who am I to own a beauty brand? Like, who am I? Right?
Right.
Am I really enough? And then a small, still voice came to me and said, oh, yes, you are. The people owning their brands, Mary Kay and the likes, they don't have two heads. They're human beings, just like you. So you are enough.
Exactly.
And then I started to, you know, think positively about it, that I can do it. I can do it. But then I actually, of course, I struggled with that a lot. Who's gonna buy my products? Like, who cares? Who even knows me? I don't know anyone. Am I enough? I don't think it's people like me that do this kind of thing.
And of course, it's people exactly like you.
Right. So I really, can you look up something? I really love that we're touching on confidence, and then we've brought it into, you know, being enough and all of that. So do you have a personal story you want to share around unmasking confidence, where, you know, something has happened in your life and you were like, you know what, maybe I can do this, and then you turned it around and unmasked all the confidence that you had within you?
You know, I would say it was finding myself. I'm going to go back to New Zealand, because when, you know, here I was, you know, 20-something, not much in terms of life experience as such. I mean, how much life experience do you have when you're 20-something? You basically spent all your time in school. And here I was in this country, no family, no friends, no community. And I was, you know, I was there to gain some work experience, life experience, but I didn't have anything to hold on to. I didn't have any any family or community or frame of reference.
Yeah.
And so there was that, that scary time where I was thinking, really, Marina, what are you doing here? And are you out of your mind? And where do you get started? But somehow I just knew that I could do it. I just somehow pushed through that scary time, that scary moment of feeling alone and in a foreign country. I mean, thank goodness I knew the language, so that would help. But and I just knew that all I had to do was get started. I just had to start somewhere. Get started. So get beyond the inertia. And so that's what I did. I started to call up a number of different companies that I thought, you know what, I might like to work with them, or I might like to learn about them. I might like to find out, how can I get started with having a career in this country, or even just a job. And I started because I put myself out there to meet people and take an interest in them and their industry and their company. Then I started getting phone calls from people who said, you know what, you came in 2 weeks ago and at that time we didn't have anything, but now we might have something and you might be suitable for it.
Wow.
And that's how it happened.
Just within 2 weeks of getting to New Zealand?
Within 2 weeks of getting to New Zealand.
I can imagine, I'll take you back to where you said that fear gripped you and you were like, what am I doing here? What did I just do to myself? Who's even going to answer me? How am I going to get, find my way in this country? How, but then you said something, you said, get started.
Get started.
You just need to start, whatever it is. Whether you're in a new country or you're starting a new project or, you're thinking of this project and it's getting overwhelming. You just need to start. Because you can get overwhelmed without even starting. You can get overwhelmed in your head. But, that's a very powerful one. You need to start.
Yes.
Start and face the challenge. There will be challenges.
Agreed. There is so much power in action. It doesn't have to be, a massive amount of action. Just even starting gives you so much power.
Absolutely. Just start, whatever it is, just start. Like fear would grip you. Trust me, everybody comes to Adoniaa and they're like, oh, you're opening a second location. And I'm like, to be honest, I'm very fearful doing all the things I do. Like, it's not with fearlessness.
Yes.
The fear is there, but I know that the only way to know what's actually at the back of that fear is to do it. I need to do it. And then when I get there, the challenges I'm thinking of in my head may not even be the ones I will face.
No.
But let me do it. Let me get to that challenge, and then we'll see how it goes.
Perfect.
It's not a competition in the world.
No.
The competition is with yourself.
It is.
So you need to just keep trying. Try it.
Yes.
And if it doesn't work, it's feedback. Right? It's not failure.
Exactly. It's feedback. It's not failure.
So many feedback I've gotten, even from opening my company.
Yes.
Lots of feedback I've gotten, where some people may have just, thrown in the towel and just go, you know what? I'm done. No, but I'm like, it's just feedback. I'm not going to do this again. I'm not going to make this silly mistake again. Right?
Yes.
So
opportunity to recalibrate.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. I am really, really so excited about this topic, and I hear everything you say. Everything you say is so relevant. It's timeless, actually. It's not just today, but it's actually timeless, especially in this day and age where, there's social media, there's lots of pressure to just get it right. Like, you don't want to start something and then people see that, oh, you couldn't hold on to it. You couldn't keep it. You've had to stop because it didn't work, But it is what it is. You are better than someone that was thinking of it in their head and didn't even give it a shot, right?
Agreed.
Yeah.
very much so.
So, Marina, what would be 3 top tips from you that you would give our viewers today about unmasking confidence? And I know you've constantly said one. You said they should just start. We just need to start. Take action. Take action. Take action. Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Surround yourself with the kind of people that you want to be. You know, be selective in terms of who your role models are. Just because, you know, someone is popular, you know, in the movies or whatever the case may be, that may not be who you want to be.
Absolutely.
Or not that you're trying to be them, but like them. You know, be discerning in terms of who you give your time and your attention to. Getting, you know, starting where you're at is exactly where the right place. And a third one, I would say, never stop learning.
Never
stop learning.
I love that.
You know, the more books that I read, the more I recognize I need to read more.
The more your eyes get open and you're like, can I just read all the books in this world?
Yes.
Like, I love to read. When I'm driving, in traffic, anytime I have to myself, I just want to read because I can't get enough. I just can't get enough of reading. And for me, that's the cheapest way to learn. Like all those people that I've
and
never
now everything's
met in my
on
life.
Audible.
Right?
So you could just, anywhere you are, you can listen to a book.
And I've never met a lot of people I've read their books in this world. I've learned a lot from all these people, Miles Monroe, T.D. Jakes, and I've never met them. I may never meet them, but they have sown seeds into my life, right?
Inspired you.
Yeah. So we should never stop learning. Never get to a point where you think you know it all. No.
Yeah.
Because you always learn till you die. Yeah.
We're never meant to be done. We're always meant to grow and expand.
Work in progress. Work in progress.
That's right.
Absolutely. I'm just gonna finish up your lip. So, Marina, to recap, so we just finished. Doing your makeup, and I'm gonna spray this on your face. It's the Makeup Fix spray.
Oh,
Makeup setting spray. And
That's
it's gonna
brilliant.
lock everything in.
Yes.
And you have to go out tonight.
Yes, I'm going out tonight. I'm going out tonight, baby.
Right? So to recap, the 3 tips that Marina gave, she said you have to take action. Number 1, take action. Just start. Just get this thing going. Get this project going. Get this dream going. Get this vision going. Just let it go. Just get it going and just start. And the second one she gave was surround yourself with the right people. You know, people that inspire you. The fact that everybody has, there's a TV celebrity that everybody watches doesn't mean the person has to be your role model. If the person doesn't inspire you, if she's not where you want to go, if there's nothing that really inspires you about her except for the fame, then you really, really want to think deep and get real role models that would really support you. And number 3 is never stop learning. Those 3 tips are the best tips I've gotten this year. Because, at times you know these things, but you want someone to reinforce it. You want to hear it over and over again. You cannot get to a point where you think you know it all. No matter your age, no matter how many books you've read, you really, really just want to keep learning with books, with audibles, from people at conferences. I never get tired of these things. I just want to go out and learn. I'm a sucker for personal development. I just want to learn. I want to learn everything about marriage, about parenting, about myself, about, self-development. I just want to learn. So thank you very much, Marina, for these tips, and thank you for teaching us about confidence, because people think it's this word that only some select few. Some people will tell you that they're not confident and they can't talk, because I can't just see someone and talk to them. And I'm like, talking is not confidence. Confidence comes from within.
Exactly.
And you have said it all today.
You're enough.
Thank you very much, Marina. You are enough. So if there's anything you want to take away from this episode, is that you are enough to do anything that you want to do. You don't need anybody. You don't need anybody to bring you down, or to tell you that, it's not for your kind of people, or it's not for your kind of caliber of people. you are enough, and you can achieve any dream that you set your mind to achieve. So, thank you, Marina.
Thank you, Doyen.
I'm just gonna do this.
Thank
you very much.
Oh, thank you, Doyen.
Thank you.